Hello, alright, this is an update video because I've decided to instigate some changes within the world, some major changes, and I'm just going to go through them and explain why. I'll also probably write a blog entry about this so it's done a bit more eloquently on the page rather than me talking about it. Two major changes. One's more major than the other, so I'll do the minor major one first. um, Ghreal. Now, Ghreal was both a land and a race, and I was fine with this. Ghreal are very benevolent, evil, power-mongering race of warrior wizards. I've written about them. You can check them out on the website. They also lived in a land called Ghreal, which was intentional. I was fine. I was fine with that. However, a friend of mine, Alana, she offered to proofread some stuff for me, and I said that's a good idea, sure. But because we were talking on Skype at the time, I asked her to read it out to me while she was proofreading it, to get a better idea about how I write and stuff, you know. And there was a typo in it. Like in the first line, there was a typo, and it described the Greal's land as Ghrea. It had the L missing off the end, and I thought Ghrea. That just sounds really good. I quite like that. So I've done it. I've changed Ghreal, the country, to Ghrea. The race Ghreal is still Ghreal, but I've changed the place that they live in to Ghrea. So I think it's got a very good, rounded sort of name, Ghrea. So that's what it's called now. And I've tried to correct that within the website. Now, the major change is that, well, elves. Way back when I started this website, I went about a video describing how I reduced I slimmed down the world, and there was a race called the Atia and a race of elves, and I got rid of the Atia and I sort of made them into elves. I called them elves instead. This was the wrong thing to do because people have a preconception about elves. Now, the elves on Iiosia are very frail, gaunt. They're not fighters or warriors at all. They're mages. They're also quite. They're not very nice. Well, they are, but as a race, they can be quite deceitful, and they're not fairy namby-pamby elves that you know, some as you might want to believe, you know, because most elves in other fiction are. Mine aren't anything like that. They're quite treacherous and selfish and proud and you know, quite haughty. And mages, they're not namby-pamby fairy folk. And I had difficulty getting this across to people. It was struck home to me in the pen and paper campaign that I've written when a player wanted to be an elf, and you know, that was fine. I explained it, but I could tell that he didn't get it. You know, that he still saw elves as Tolkien elves or D&D elves. You know, and they're not. So I've decided to rename the elves the Atia. So I've gone back on what I said earlier. Again, I've gone through the website and changed every elven reference to Atia. So now the elves are Atia. So we have like dwarves, the Atia, and the Tashi for the main races back in the day, before Iiosia actually happened in the Age of Wonder. So that was a major change, and I decided to do that, and I've gone through the website and changed everything that I think I need to change. So I felt that it's the right thing to do to branch out. I won't do the same with dwarves though, because honestly my dwarves are quite traditional. Stunty, steadfast, beer-loving dwarves, and everyone loves them for it. Why change it? But I wanted my elves to be something different. Now there are elves in the planet. There's a little place called Iiosia, and that is a very small, isolated island which used to have a race called Black Elves. Now again, without even knowing about them, someone compared them to the Drow, which I didn't like because they're nothing like the Drow. So what I decided to do is convert the Black Elves into elves. But there's not many of them at all, and they're not like even a main race. They're not even a playable race in IRPG. yet. They're very isolated. There's only a couple hundred of them in the entire world on this tiny little island that they're even rumored to exist. I've also made them quite short and done some other alterations to them. Temporary changes, perhaps, but changes nonetheless. So there are elves in the world, but they're very minor. The major sort of change is that I've replaced the elven kingdom, which was destroyed during the Great War, with an Atian kingdom. So that's done. So as I say, I've gone through most of the stuff on the website and changed Atia, elf to Atia. But if you guys can see any reference to elf where it shouldn't be there, then please do so. Also, in the IRPG core rulebook, I've done the same. I also had to change languages and stuff, so the Atia was replaced Elvish, and then changed Elvish to a more rare language because only a few hundred people in the entire world speak it. So it was a little bit of work, but I got through it, and I've made those changes because I felt that it was needed. They make the world stand out a little bit more. I got rid of the stereotype of elf, which I wanted to discard, so I've got rid of the word elf and replaced it with Atia. So they're the treacherous, magic-loving race now, the gaunt, often bald race that the elves were, and I'm quite happy with the change, honestly. I think it was a good move. But, let me know what you think. Not that it matters, because it's my world. I decided to do it, but I'm just letting you know that if you go on the site and you see it's all changed, this is why. Decided just for the best. Just for the best. So that's about it. I don't think there's anything else, but so thank you for watching this little update. And I'll probably put a blog up about it, blog update about it at some point later this weekend. So thanks for watching. Toodaloo.